The story of the three Danish princesses, Margarita, Benedikte, and Anne-Marie, has always been marked by unusual decisions and a sisterly bond that seems unbreakable, no matter the distance or the years that have passed. Just take a look at the youngest, Anne-Marie, and you'll understand why people call her the most determined. At just 13, she met the love of her life, Constantine II of Greece. And as soon as she came of age, she dove into an adventure that forced her to give up her title as a Danish princess, the chance to inherit the throne, and, of course, everyday contact with her family. That boldness, or maybe stubbornness, but it also meant losing a new crown. Over time, though, the Danish royal family proved that blood ties are stronger than any protocol. The clearest example is Queen Margrethe, the monarch, whose public restraint has often been a topic for the press, partly because in her 40 years of rule, she was only ever seen shedding tears on a handful of occasions. Many forget that we're talking about a woman who doesn't use a mobile phone or a computer, preferring face-to-face conversations over any virtual contact. Yet, this very queen, famous for her reserved nature, never stopped supporting her younger sister whenever needed, even if it was through small gestures that sometimes had to be read between the lines. One of the most touching examples was a story Anne-Marie herself shared in an interview with the Danish publication Kristeligt Dagblad. She recalled being surprised when she got a phone call from her older sister, a rare event for a woman who had always refused to send text messages or use a computer. For Margarita, these rare actions were a way of showing she cared. She wasn't one to shower anyone with tender words, but when she made that call, you knew she truly had something important to say or simply wanted to feel close to her family. To understand each sister's role in this unique family, remember that Margarita, the eldest, became the heir to the throne after the law was changed to allow a woman to ascend the Danish throne. Benedikte, the middle sister, was always the most disciplined and a key figure in official representations, sacrificing a big part of her personal life for her duties. And then there's Anne-Marie, the most adventurous of them all. She left home at a very young age to become the queen consort of Greece. In 1964, she married Constantine II without a second thought, left Denmark, and just 3 years later witnessed a state coup in Greece that forced her to flee the country while pregnant, with 2 little kids, and a third on the way. That fateful night in 1967 marked the beginning of a different life. First in Italy, then in London, a life away from her Danish family and without a homeland, which she also lost when the Greek monarchy was officially abolished in a referendum in 1974. In this setting, Margarita, despite the distance, acted as a caring older sister. When Anne-Marie and Constantine lost their Greek citizenship, the Danish queen provided them with Danish passports so that their family could travel and at least partially feel the support during tough times. Moreover, every summer they could spend a few months at one of the royal residences in Jutland. A significant gesture considering how closed-off royal schedules and traditions usually are. Perhaps one of the most vivid examples of their closeness was seen in the sharing of their mother, Queen Ingrid's inheritance in 2000. No one objected when Anne-Marie decided to keep her mother's beloved Cartier tiara, the very one all the women in the family, including Margrethe herself, would wear on special occasions. It's impossible not to compare these relationships with the one between Queen Margrethe and Benedikte. Princess Benedikte, who has always been busy serving the crown, married the German prince, Richard Susanne Wittgenstein Berleburg, balancing family life with active duties in Denmark. It's well known that when her husband fell seriously ill, she could hardly spend any time with him due to her hectic schedule, and it wasn't for a lack of love. Both Margarita and Benedikte grew up in an environment where royal duty came before any personal matters. However, such a strict approach to duty didn't work quite the same for Anne-Marie, who always followed her heart. Yes, Margarita sees Benedikte much more often, They both live in Denmark, and their schedules often align. But her connection with her younger sister was different. It required discreet gestures, subtle actions that, while modest on the surface, clearly showed that even a monarch can be a partner in her sister's personal choices. When Anne-Marie was pregnant and Margrethe's wedding was approaching, the older sister didn't hesitate to postpone her celebration so that the younger could give birth peacefully and, without rush, come to Denmark later. It's in these little details that affection shines, not in loud declarations. Similarly, when Anne-Marie was widowed after Constantine II's death, Margarita never missed a chance to invite her to private events in their home country, quietly surrounding her with care and reminding her that, despite the passing years, they remained close. A curious fact: in September 2023, Margarita and Anne-Marie were seen together at the birthday celebration of King Carl Gustaf of Sweden, without Benedikte. Soon after, the Danish press confirmed that the widowed Queen of Greece had spent some time in Denmark before returning to Greece, and although Anne-Marie cancelled the traditional sisters' meeting at Gråsten Castle that summer, she was spotted more frequently at other family events. Once again, these quiet yet meaningful gestures showed that you don't have to see each other every day to be in tune with one another. Many are surprised that Queen Margrethe, often seen as the Iron Lady towards other family members, is so generous with Anne-Marie, whose children still carry the titles of princes of Greece and Denmark. After all, it seems that each sister has her own role in this almost romantic family story. Margarita is the steadfast, reserved monarch. Benedikte is the tireless pillar of the institution, and Anne-Marie is the adventurer who left everything for love, and, having faced hardships, managed to reconnect with her Danish roots in a new way. Perhaps that's why, whenever they gather again, time doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether it's been 2 days or 6 months, we always return to the same harmony, Anne-Marie once said, making it clear that despite the distances and obvious differences, her bond with Margarita remained strong and genuine. In the end, neither crowns nor distances can erase the bonds of childhood. They may not see each other every day or chat on the phone every week, but it's in those quiet acts and significant gestures that you realize, no matter how different they are, that, above all, they are sisters.